What's up, guys? This is Simba. So I'm just going to be going over some questions you guys had, go over how we did today, everything. Great job overall. Let me pull up Tastyworks just to show you guys what I want you to have, by the way, when it comes to looking at your contracts, etc., that you have open. You're going to want to go to settings here, positions, make sure these are the ones displayed. You can pause the video and add them. But basically what will happen when you set those up, you're going to see your profit and loss dollar amount right here. You're going to see the cost that you paid to enter the contract. You're going to see the total amount, so that would be your cost plus or minus whatever your P&L is. If it's green, obviously it's plus. If it's red here, then it's going to be this minus this. Your net liquidity is going to be less. And your percent that you're up and down. And this is going to be the stock price. That's what I have listed. So this is pretty much the basics that you need. If you're so I'll just show you guys real quick. For instance, we did a lot of SPY today, right? So we did a lot of SPY puts and calls. If you click SPY, you're going to see each individual one here. So you're going to see an overlay for SPY, the total that you have, profit and loss for SPY. You're going to see the cost that you did total for SPY, liquidity, and profit and loss. So if we're in multiple positions, it's very good because then we can see, for instance, if we did a put and it's down and then we see a minor bounce coming, but we want to hold the put, we can do a call, and then the put's probably going to go into the negative, of course, but if we're in the call is going to go positive. So if like let's say these two right here, so then our total, if the call starts to outweigh the put in terms of profitability, we're going to see SPY here, the total probably will end up being maybe 1 or 2% profit. So yeah, we're losing money, but eventually it'll even out. That's if we're hedging ourselves right. Then we could always keep it, and then at resistance we can add another put, sell our call, etc. But that's what you want to see. So a lot of people have been asking too about how do you know how much you are able to day trade with. So great question. So look, this is what I ended the day with, right? 44.21, 44.21. I'm in no positions. Everything's closed. Everything is closed. So at the beginning of the day, this is what I do. I'm going to go to my notepad, write down opening day. You don't even have to do this really that much, but opened with 44.21.85. Now, whenever you enter a contract, whatever the cost of the contract is, you have to subtract it here. So, for instance, Walmart, let's say. We did the Walmart one, or it's not going to show it here, I don't think. Activity, here we go. All right, here. So this SPY, the BABA call. BABA we entered at 0.65, two of them. So what we would do is pull up our calculator, 0.65. So 0.65 obviously is $65 times 2. We spent $130. So $130, if that was our first trade of the day, we would do 44.21.85 minus $130. All right? So this is what we have left for the day. You can only trade now, let's say we made money on that, right? So let's say this is what we started with, and then we spent 130, right? And let's say we sold it for, so here, we'll just do exactly what we did. So we're going to do minus 130. So this is what our option buying power will show, and we'll have some working power. Then we're going to, let's say we sold it. So we sold it for 98, plus 98, right? Plus, and then the second one, we sold it for $1.54. Great job there, guys, by the way. Whoops. Shit. Plus 154. There we go. All right. Hold on. Sorry. 44.21 minus 130 plus 98 plus 154. There we go. Okay. So 45.43, that's what we're going to see now here on our option buying power. That's not what we can use, though. We don't want to get marked as a pattern day trader for the day. You can do it. I think it's 4 times within a year, but there's no point in doing it. There's really no point. There's no point in over trading. I mean, we can one day, but there's really just no point. So even though our total right now is 45.43.85, and we started with 44.21.85, what our available buying power really is for today is the 44.21.85 minus our entry, which is the 65 times 2 130. So we still only have 42.91. So what I do is this. I'll just say BABA, whatever I entered, and then the new balance. So 42.91.85. And then I always just refer back to this number. I don't care anymore about the option buying power. That's the only time we care about the option buying power is at the beginning of the day. Okay? Now, if you're already in a position from the day before and you go to sell it, that buying power also does not become available. So watch out for that. Well, it becomes available, but it will count towards your day trade. So watch out for that also. Now, let's see. So that's something that a lot of you guys ask. Oh, something else that you guys ask a lot of the time. The take profit levels. When do I take profit? 1, 2, and 3. So the first signals of the day, usually the first and second one. If you're only buying one contract, then just sell it at the first take profit. You're not going to make too much, maybe 5, 10%, but hey, it adds up. And you're making more than the dollar fee. And eventually, you're just growing the account. It's good to take a W in the beginning. It just sets our momentum for the day. It doesn't make you want to stay in a position at all or get greedy. It also teaches you, like I just said, not to be greedy and to take profits right away. If you can, do 3. I mean, 3's good. If you can, I usually do 2. I only do 2. I take profit usually at the second target for the most part. And then at the third one, I let it ride and I bring my stop loss up. So I'll close the contract at, you can right click it. So when you're in a position, you can right click it and hit close. It'll say there close profit percent. So I'll see what the profit percent is when I hit that target, and then I'll just raise my stop loss. So if we hit target 3, I'll probably raise my take profit, my profit close to whatever the TP2 was. So whatever the take profit percent we were up at 2 was, that's what I'm going to set as my stop loss if we hit 3. Otherwise, I'll just usually let it ride, or I'll just signal for you guys to exit. So a lot of you guys ask that. Otherwise, you could just take it in the beginning. Especially if you have a small account, that's usually what you want to do. When we're entering a trade too, for instance, some scalps, Apple 155.42. Okay. 155.42. So I always go in the money. So 155.42. We'd be looking at 157. That's what we're doing. And then it always sets it usually to the next month. So we're going to want to go either the same week. If it's not SPY, then it's always Friday. So we're going to look at either the same week or we can go to the next week, whatever you can afford. And then remember, it always sets it up here for whatever the ask is. So remember to change it to the mid. So whenever I enter a position, I pretty much always go mid. Sometimes I'll go like right around here. It really depends what the spread is too. But usually I'll go in the middle price, see if I'll hit review and send, see if I get filled. If I get filled, then I'm good, whatever. If I see it moving and I want to go up a little bit, I'll just go into positions, working, right click it and hit replace order and just bump it up a little bit just to get in. But for the most part, I always do the mid. So you always want to be in the money and with an expiration either this week or next week. Depends on your account value. So obviously we can see here 1228. The 157 one is 775, but if we push it out to next week, it goes up a whole $115. So I mean, if you don't have that much in your account and you want to do some more trades, don't go all in. Don't do that. I mean, the most that I do on mine, I don't even do that much. That's a lot of money, 775. So what I'd be looking at here is we could probably move it to 155, and I would have done the same week, which was around the 400. So that's fine. Don't use all your buying power at one position. Wait for the next signal if it's too much. I mean, for instance, the AMD one was good. What was AMD? $17.16. 17.16, 17.50. Okay, so yeah, so I mean, look, we bring it to next week. It's only 105. So that's a good one to enter. And then that one I do. So for instance, for me, I do 1, 2, 3, 3 contracts. Here's where they list them, by the way. So I do 3 there. But yeah, it all depends on your account value. You don't want to go, too deep. You don't want to spend too much. We're not doing the 3 to 5% rule really. But a good rule of thumb is like no more than like 10 to I mean 20% at the max. That's even a lot, to be honest. I mean, we are scalping, so our stop losses are tight for the most part. I will exit a trade usually like 15 to 20% if it goes the other way. The only reason I haven't been lately is because we are in a huge downtrend and most of these are puts. So it just, I mean, we can just keep adding or we can hedge them like we did earlier in order to go into profit. We don't really need to close most of them. So anyway, so that I hope that kind of sums up everything for you guys there. That might have answered some of the questions too, but let's see. Okay. Explain how you come to the price targets and the TA. Walking us through your scalping, what indicators are action. Okay, I'll do that in a second. Struggling on the exits. Okay, so I just went over the take profit levels. Always take profit on one, let the rest ride. Maybe two if you have three. Need help with terms such as flush. Okay. Yeah, terms like flush. Flush means flush down the toilet. What does that mean? Drop. Free fall. What does that mean? There's no support. There's no support clearly stated on the chart, so it's probably going to fall, a good amount from wherever I said that it's going to free fall. Could use a good explanation for how to keep track of the day trades on Tastyworks, so I'm ready to go Monday. Okay, I think I just did that in the beginning. Don't want to get banned quickly. Yeah, you'll be fine. Just, like I said, in the beginning of the day, look at your option buying power here. Write it down. Subtract anything you buy from there, the cost. You also have to subtract the $1 for the entry. Because the cost on Tastyworks is $1 and some change. Have to keep track manually. Okay, I told you. Scalps is regular. I'm interested in learning about reading level 2s. Maybe a stream or data tracker that we can constantly keep track of them. Yeah, there's plenty. You can go to I'll see if I can try to get something going for us guys. Maybe some type of app, but it's kind of costly to. I don't know if we can all log into it, etc. But good ones to use would be Max Payne. That's a good one. I think TD Ameritrade has one. There's a bunch of websites that have them. I'll make another video though. That's kind of for a different time on how to read those. When you see those are kind of where I get the roulette flows from, by the way, which I'll probably be posting more of those as well because now I'll have puts for those. I was only doing the roulette flows. I was getting messages and notifications about calls. Now I'll be able to get puts, which is a lot better in this market. But yeah, David, I'll message you about that later. Don't worry about that, man. We'll find you one to use, and I'll definitely add that to my things to do for the next coming year about trying to add to the group. Anyway, so all right, so the TA, yeah. All right, let's just pull up one. I think I had a good one up before for Apple. It's just something I had fresh in my head. Yeah, Apple. Okay, Apple. So I said break and hold 155.42. So break and hold. So if I say below, clearly that's a put. I mean, I'll usually put it, but break and hold below means you're going for a put. If it breaks below, of course we're going to do a put. If I say break and hold above, then we're going to do a call. Okay. All right. So break and hold below. Now most of these are puts. I mean, it's a bear market. It's just what we've been doing. So at 10:57, I said that break and hold 155.42. 10:57 right here, 155.42, so it's like 156. So why did I say that? Well, if we look back, all the way back here to the end of day yesterday, it was right at that level, which you can see the price line on the right, 155.42, right before it wicked down. So going off pure price action here, I saw it nearly touch here, bounced off the support, Fibonacci point, went up, retested, dropped down, retested, kind of was breaking below the EMAs here, kept retesting on the EMA lines. By the way, the EMAs that I use are the 20, 40, 55, 81, and 200. Exponential moving average, so roughly where it should be over the past, taking the data from the past 20, 40, 55, 81, 200 days. Bollinger Bands as well, when they are squeezing tight, usually indicates, which is these white lines, my Bollinger Bands, it usually indicates strong moves coming either up or down. Also, obviously, we use RSI to detect divergences I believe we have another video that Dario's doing about those as well. That's going to be your pretty much main go-to. Um, Using price action combined with your RSI for divergences and being able to read the patterns on candlesticks. So anyway, 155.42, right? So I think we got in at like 11:03 if I remember right before. Yeah. So look, so on the top left, when you highlight a candle, this is TradingView, by the way. You want to download the app on your phone if you don't have it. This is how we get confirmation. Don't use the Robinhood candles. I hate the charts on Tastyworks for some reason. They're just not that good. So I always use TradingView. So anyway, so on the top left, you're going to see the opening price for the candle, the high price, the low, and the close. So if the low hits our target, that doesn't mean enter. We want to get a closing confirmation because we could just get wick, some type of wick. For instance, this candle right here, the low was 155.72, but it closed at 156.36. So that's a lot higher than the low of the candle. So that's why we want confirmation on a close. If it's a wick down, if it's close to the bottom of a wick, even for instance, or if it just barely hit it and then it like bounced up on the next candle, I won't even enter. But this was a good one. 11:03 we entered, right? Yeah. So it closed at, what did I say? 155.42. So this candle closed at 155.32. So it was perfect, and it had a lot of volume on the bottom. Didn't really wick down at the bottom. So we entered right here, and then I think it hit all of our TPs. I mean, Apple 155, 154.90. Oh yeah. I mean, this candle just blew right past there. So yeah, we did good there. But that's pretty much how we do them. I mean, that kind of answers the question. We just look at the previous low of day. We wait from the prior day or even the beginning of the day here. We wait for it to retest, and then we basically go in after it rises and then breaks through. But yeah, guys, if you have any more questions, feel free to ask me. All right.